Yo, what's good YouTube? Welcome back to another video. It's your boy Kawan. Today we're going to be talking about things I wish I knew before I went to university. For those that might not know, I'm currently a university student studying in the USA. And before I went to the USA for school, I was studying in Zambia. And then I decided, hey, it's time to take on some massive debt. So if you're thinking about going to university, or if you're already in school and, probably on the edge of survival, this video is for you. I'm going to be sharing 10 things I wish I knew. So let's get straight to it. Number one, you're going to want to find your friend group, and to find the friend group, you're going to want to be yourself. You got to find your people, your group. If you're not yourself, you're not going to find people that kind of lean towards, the type of person you are, if that makes sense. And, a lot of people say, oh,
college is an opportunity to recreate yourself and become I don't know, whatever, a fictional character.
Yeah, I'm a bit iffy about that because, when you pretend too much, it becomes less genuine, It's especially difficult if you're coming from somewhere completely different. For example, for me, I went from Zambia to the States, and I haven't been in the States since like forever. So I kind of had to recreate my friend group and my social circle. Day one is hard. It's even harder if you don't know anyone. It's very awkward, but so is everyone else. It's like everyone just pretends within like the first 2 weeks, and after that, people just start getting adjusted. So you might be wondering, all right, Kwan, how do I make friends? You're making it sound easy, Well, guy or girl, you're gonna want to join clubs, do different things, just be social, you know what I mean? Like one of my biggest mistakes when I was in my freshman year, I was very closed off, you know what I mean? Like I was very reserved. I just class, work, gym, sleep, class, work, gym, sleep. I did that like nonstop every day. And even when I was doing that, I didn't talk to people. I was just locked in. Yeah, like I said, you're gonna want to join a lot of clubs, do a lot of things, join social organizations, join sports. If you play ball, football, soccer, tennis, ping pong, whatever, do something, join something. You'll be destined to meet friends. And another thing about like meeting friends in college, or at least within your freshman year, you're going to meet a lot of people that will be like potential adulthood friends or forever friends, you know what I mean? But you're also going to meet a lot of people that you'll never want to talk to again, and probably people that you want to stay away from. So yeah, you're going to experience a lot of different things, but like I said, as long as you be yourself, just stay true to yourself, you'll find people that kind of align with who you are. And overall, it'll just make the whole 4 years experience, or your college experience in general, a breeze if you have the right people around you. So yeah. The second thing I wish I knew about college or university before I came, culture difference is very, very real, especially if you're coming from, for example, my case, coming from Zambia to the US. Even though I am American and I've, lived here before, it's like you meet people from all walks of life. So it's like everyone you meet has something different to bring to the table, you get me? So it's like, I don't know, it's very strange. You meet a lot of strange people, people that might not do things the way that you do things, and you kind of have to adjust to that, or at least acknowledge that that exists, or those people exist. It might be harder for others than it is for some, so that's just something you'll have to get used to. Everything is kind of different. For example, like even the way people talk, here bro and dude is like a noun, adjective, and it's a name. And I'm sure I have a couple Africans watching this. I'm sure we've all experienced that question, that dreaded question. It's like, oh, you're from Africa. Do you have water in Africa? Do you guys have cars? Do you live in huts? Or you have clothes? Like,
what? Bro.
And we have all that stuff. I mean, yeah. Like I said, culture difference. You might meet a person who's never been out the country, never been out their state, never been out their house. So it's like experience. You'll be good. You'll adjust. Basically, you're gonna see a lot of crazy stuff. Don't be surprised. 8 a.m. as early as 8 a.m. You'll see some crazy stuff. It's never too early for madness here. So yeah, American students are very different. And I'm not saying it in like a bad way. I'm not saying it in a good way either, but it's like they're very different. For example, you'll go to class in PJs and, Starbucks, and the guy is calling the professor by his first name. Back in Zambia, it's like, it's always Mr., Mrs. type of thing, respect your elders or you're going to be a disgrace to your family and, stuff like that. So yeah, it's different. It's different. Number 3, nobody cares. Everybody is doing their own thing and this close to crashing out. So yeah, one thing that you have to get used to in university, it's very different from high school and, any other forms of education. It's like the most freedom that you'll ever have, you know what I mean? In terms of like your teenage years or your young adulthood years, like everybody's not used to this type of freedom. But with that freedom also comes with, people not caring, yourself included, I'm sure. You have professors that will just show up to class, say 2 words and then bounce. Some of them not even show up. So, hey, you might have to teach yourself for a semester. But yeah, like I said, it's like very different. You'll have a lot more freedom, but then again, no one cares. So nobody's going to hold your hand throughout college. Oh, do your homework and eat your vegetables and, make sure you study. Exams are coming. No, nothing like that. Everybody is just minding their own business and barely surviving and probably thinking about dropping out every day. So, that's kind of why I think anxiety is a bit weird. You know what I mean? Like a lot of people have that and get that, myself included sometimes. But it's like in university, why have anxiety when literally no one cares what you're doing? It's kind of crazy. Like it's easier said than kind of like put into perspective. It's like literally no one cares. Yeah, and then one thing I'll also say is like try not to take yourself too serious. I mean, it's not that deep, bro. It's really not. You'll have that one guy who walks into class and accidentally calls the professor mom or something, and then he drops out the next day and you never see him again. Yeah, don't be that guy. Don't be that. Maybe you're the girl who, if she got one bad grade, she's gonna be a failure to her family and her whole lineage, and she breaks down crying and has a whole mental episode. Yeah, don't be that guy. If you failed a quiz, just forget about it. You know what I mean? Like your professor probably forgot to submit the grades anyway, so you'll be fine. When you get to university, you start to realize how cool professors are and like how human they are as well. Sometimes we kind of think that they're our superiors in terms of like, college, whatever the hell you want to say. But yeah, we might not kind of look at them as people in a sense. Just because they're an authority, we kind of put them on a pedestal, and it's like, oh, we have to treat them a certain way, and we can't talk to them, or we can't have any relationship with them. No, it's far from that. College is very, very far from that. As you start to talk to more professors, you start to realize how cool and chilled a lot of them could be. You're there calling your professor first name basis. You're really, hanging out like, hey, what's up, David, and stuff like that. It's really chill. They're really cool, at least until grades come out. Otherwise, they'll still give you an F. You would think that it's personal. Number 4, fourth thing I wish I knew in college is the importance of time management and routine. As college students, we tend to get very, very busy. We have a lot of things booked. You have a meeting there, you have social event over here, you gotta sleep, you gotta eat, homework. It's a bunch of stuff. So yeah, you got to understand that if it's not on your calendar, if it's not an alarm on your phone or something like that, it's most likely not happening. So yeah, develop a routine. Time moves very, very fast when you're in school. In the beginning of the year, you might get a project that's due in the end of the semester or something. That time will move very, very fast. You might think you have 6 or 7 weeks to complete that and, submit it later on. But yeah, those 6 to 7 weeks will just fly by like it's nothing. So be sure to schedule everything. For me personally, I use a lot of sticky notes. Find what works for you, use that, and be on top of your stuff. And kind of like a side note as well on that one, you don't want to have early classes. So by any means, just avoid that. at any cost. You might be thinking, oh, I'm about to get to school and be on, top of everything and all A's, and relax, my guy. You don't want to, pressure yourself into that too much, especially having like a hard class at 8 a.m. You're waking up after having 3 hours of sleep to have quantum physics. Like, dude, don't do that to yourself. Don't be that guy. So yeah. So all in all, what I'm trying to say is a solid routine will keep you sane and in school. So yeah. Number 5, kind of relating to that, is the importance of school, work, and life balance. You want to have a balance in everything, and it's easier said than done, honestly, speaking from experience. When you have to juggle your classes, work, social events, calling your family, keeping up with people, you have a girlfriend, you have the guys, you got a dog. It's a lot that you have to juggle. So yeah, being able to balance all that and, stay on top of things, like I said, routine will kind of help with that. As long as you can stay on top of all that stuff, you'll be good. It's one thing they don't really teach you, depending on the school you go to, it's not emphasized as much, like, oh, mental health, and be sure that you're, taking time for yourself. No, a lot of the times they kind of pressure you into like academics, like just being on go with school 24/7. So yeah, be sure you take time for yourself. And again, kind of speaking on my first year experience, I did not really have a social life like that. Like, yeah, I went out, parties, hanging out here and there, but in terms of like on a consistent basis, like, oh, about to go get drinks with the guys, and oh, let's go have lunch at the park or whatever, right? I didn't really have that because, one, I was working nonstop. Like, I was stacking my paper. And when I wasn't doing that, I was, studying nonstop as well. And then, yeah, outside of that, it would be gym and sleep. Ooh, that's another one. Sleeping. Go to bed, go to sleep. Like, I can't stress that enough. Like, sleep will start to hit like Jet2 holidays. Like, you want to be able to, you probably won't get your whole 8 hours. I'm not going to cap. Like, that probably won't happen in university unless, you're a failure. I'm kidding. But most likely a lot of the times it won't happen. But if you can get like 6 to 7, maybe, hopefully, you can probably function on that. I know I was able to function on like 6 hours of sleep. So yeah, be sure you sleep. Otherwise, everything else just gets all wacky and stuff, and you'll start calling the professor mom. So yeah, go to bed. And when you do get good sleep, it prevents burnout. Burnout is very, very real. I think I've only experienced it once. I worked extra hours for like 2 weeks straight, right, at my job, and then during the same time it was like exam period. I was just completely done. Like, I was pooped. By the time I got home, I would hit gym, I would eat, and then I would study for like 3-4 hours. It would be like 2 a.m. and then I gotta wake up at like 6, study again, 8 a.m., get ready for class. Between 6 and 8, I'm probably like debating going to sleep and dropping out at the same time. So yeah, burnout is very real. So be sure that you kind of do anything you can to avoid that. And so is burnout denial. So yeah, don't do that to yourself. I'm just dropping gems right now. I'm just dropping things I wish I knew in my freshman year, because yeah, I had to learn the hard way. I didn't learn this until like my second year, second semester. The importance of saying no, especially to like people who are just trying to, take your time that you could be using for, downtime and working on other things. You might have a project you want to start in college, or you might just, not want to talk to people for a bit. I know I have those moments. Just learn to say no, learn to, I can't even speak English. Learn to be able to say no to people who want to use your time so you can do other things. It helps in the long run. People pleasing is not a good thing to have, or being called or labeled a people pleaser in college. Yeah, you don't want that name attached to you. So yeah. And now the moment you all have been waiting for. Number 6, parties. Yeah, I know. You might be thinking,
Oh, college parties. That's the reason I'm going to college.
that might be one thing that you might be looking forward to, especially if you're like a high schooler watching this, or maybe someone who's kind of closed off and hasn't really gone out yet. Yeah, parties. What to expect? Probably everything you're thinking of. Yeah. Going out and socializing, going to parties, chills, hangouts, whatever you want to call them, it's definitely worth it. It's a lot of good time. I mean, a lot of sticky floors and bad decisions, but otherwise it's a good place to meet people for one, and unwind. Like I said, avoid burnout. Go out, go drink responsibly. Don't be underage drinking. Don't do that. Parties, they have their goods, their pros and their cons. Pros, like I said, you get to meet a lot of new people and have a good time, express yourself, socialize, probably take pictures and do a lot of fun stuff. And in terms of cons, there's a lot of cons. I mean, especially if you're bad at time management and stuff like that, and you're a people pleaser. Dude, do not be a people pleaser and go out. That's the worst thing you can do, honestly. Like, if you are a person who drives on campus or at your university, whatever, you'll probably have people that want to ride to the bar, to the club and stuff like that. You'll have to learn to say no to them, because a lot of the times they'll probably throw up in your car, or they'll bring extra people along, and they might call you at 4 a.m. Hey, I need a ride. And I get out, walk home. Stuff like that. I mean, I haven't really experienced that firsthand, but I've been around that. So yeah, it didn't look like it was much fun. So, that's another reason why you don't want to have an 8 a.m. Because, if you're out the night before, for example, it's a Sunday, right? You got class tomorrow, Monday, 8 a.m., quantum physics. You won't get back until like 4 or 5 a.m. probably, in most cases. I know for me in my freshman year, I was just going insane. But yeah, you'll probably come back late. You don't want to have to sleep an hour, if you sleep at all, and then wake up, go straight to class. You might even go to class hungover at your 8 a.m., with the beers in your hand, Yeah, don't be that guy. But yeah, if you have a good group of friends and you guys want to have a good time, go out. It's worth every moment. You're gonna make a lot of memories, a lot of things that you guys probably won't forget. Yeah, do that. Go out. Number 7, sex and dating. Yeah, that's right. Girls in this case, right? College, there's a lot of them. You, especially if you're coming from like a household where you didn't really go out much, your parents were strict, you have a lot of freedom and you're on a lot of girls, a lot of women. And during this age, you're probably like 17 to 19, being a freshman in college. Yeah, you're going to want to do a lot of things. Your body's going to start experiencing a lot of things, a lot of changes. I'm about to have a birds and the bee talk right here. But yeah, you're gonna have a desire for the tings. So kind of just to sum up the whole dating scene in college, it's like very, 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 very casual. Of course, unless that's what you're looking for. But upon like first try, that's what you're going to receive, unless you make it obvious, like, hey, I want a girlfriend or something long term. But yeah, most of the time it's going to be something very casual. You might receive some 2 a.m. text and some where you at text and stuff like that. Yeah, be open to that stuff. Like I said, for me, let me not, as you progress through your college years, get more and more busy, especially someone like me who's like balancing work and school and other things on the side. It's like you have to make time for all these things, including dating. So if you have the time for that, if you have the good time management skills, go for it. You'll probably meet the love of your life, maybe, if you're like small percentile. But otherwise, yeah, do it. Have fun. I know for me, in my case, like when I was first starting university, I was in a relationship. It was a long distance thing. So I had to consider, okay, I'm here for now, but I still have to go back to my girl, stuff like that. Long distance works for some, might not work for others. Everyone has their own view on long distance. But for me personally, what I'll say is try it. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. That's something you want to experience firsthand, other than kind of just taking somebody's word for it. If you're not in that bracket of already having someone or doing long distance, then like I said, definitely be open to different things. One thing that was kind of new to me was the whole dating app scene. I mean, you have like more dating apps than you have alphabets. I mean, you have Tinder, Bumble, Hinge, and whatever else. Probably hot moms in the park. That kind of reminds me, it's like, I don't know if it's everyone or all the, guys that I'll be talking to right now, if you've experienced this, but it's like a lot of the times, if you say you're African, they might look at you a certain way and think you're exotic. You know what I mean? Like, it's very strange. A lot of the times they'll lean towards you because of that. I'm not complaining. I'm just making you aware. But it's like, yeah, that'll happen. They'll like you a bit more because you're not from here. And not only are you not from here, you're from a whole place that's, they might have no idea about. And don't let that place be in Africa. Like, bro, you know what they say. So all in all, with dating, you might find your life partner, for the whole time you're in college, or you might, bounce around each year in a whole new relationship. 4 relationships in college, who knows? Number 8, roommates. They'll either be your best friend or they'll be your worst nightmare. It's really up to chance. It's your luck. So, you might get to college and have no idea who your roommate is until you get there. That's like the worst case scenario. Don't do that. Have an idea of who your roommate is. If you can, actually kind of build that relationship before you get to campus. So it kind of builds that anticipation to actually meet that person when you get to campus. I know for me, we had like this little buddy system app online, like a whole roommate building app or roommate finder, whatever you want to call it. So yeah, I met my roommate on there, or matched with him on there. And then, we started talking for like the whole 3-4 months before I actually got to campus. And, it helps, especially if you're coming from abroad. Some of us, we were flying overseas, coming to an airport in a whole place we've never been before, for the first time without even seeing the campus at all. So, yeah, it was a whole crazy experience. And, if I had a bad roommate, it would have made the whole thing even worse. But, yeah. He was pretty chill. He was a cool guy. Yeah, like I said, your roommate is either going to be a really good friend of yours, or he's going to make your first year or whatever year you're in very, very, very miserable. And my advice to you guys that'll have roommates, make sure you set boundaries early. Expectations, what you'll do, what you'll not do, stuff like that. Especially if it's like a small space. If you guys I know for me, I had like a shared room, and it was like 2 of us in a room that was meant for 1 person. So we kind of had to work around that. And yeah, communication is key. You can't communicate if you don't like your roommate. So another tip I can give is make sure you have like headphones, especially if they're noise canceling headphones. Yeah, get those, because you might have a roommate who snores loud or just talks too loud. That's like my biggest pet peeve. People who just like scream on the top of their lungs, and you're just like this close to them. That's, yeah. get whatever it is that you need to make your whole shared living experience better. So yeah, in terms of conflict, if you guys have any issues, be sure to sort that out. For me, I'm the type of person to address something as soon as it happens, or at least quickly, because if you don't say anything, things will persist to happen. For example, if your roommate, I don't know, sleepwalks or something at 5 a.m. in the morning, yeah, be sure to address that, or else that'll keep happening. I don't even know. Is there a way to stop sleepwalking? I don't know. But yeah, tie him to the bed, something. I don't know. But yeah, you'll figure it out. Basically, you'll have an opportunity to make either a really good friend who's a roommate, or an enemy probably for the rest of your college career, based on the relationship you build with this roommate of yours. Personally, I didn't have any bad experiences, so I can't really share any. I know a couple people that have had some. But yeah, don't be one of those guys. Yeah. Number 9, have an end goal in mind. A lot of times people just go to school because, maybe their parents just want them to go to school, or they have nothing else better to do and they just want to pass time. Don't be that person. Have a reason why you want to go. Is it to build a network? Is it to get a degree? Is it, I don't know, to prove a point to someone? Maybe, I don't know. But yeah, basically have a reason, whatever it is, to do what you're doing if you're in school. Otherwise, you could probably be doing a whole bunch of other things on the side. Yeah. I know there's a lot of people that kind of think that school is not necessary to be successful, whatever success looks like for you. But yeah, some people might require it, others might not. At the end of the day, do whatever it is you think works for you. Do whatever it is that you want to do. Like I said in the previous, nobody cares. So yeah, just do you, man. But if you're already in school and you already made the decision to, start being a student, remember what you're there for, for your studies. You have to be on top of your stuff. You gotta get good grades, get a degree, go get a job, the whole 9, you know what I mean? So yeah, that's what you want to do. Don't be distracted by the parties, the girls, I don't know what else there is, but distractions. Don't be distracted. Lock in, focus. If you don't lock in and you're easily distracted, you're going to be that one guy who, misses out the whole semester and only comes when it's time to write the final. There's this random guy in the class. Who is that? I don't know who that is. And last but not least, finally, we have it is what you make it. It's number 10. And guys, honestly, whatever advice you've taken from this video, from other videos you've probably watched, countless videos on YouTube about college and whatnot, it is what you make it at the end of the day. You can watch as many videos as you want, take as much advice from your parents, your teachers, your friends, that weird guy on the street that said, don't do drugs and don't be like me. Yeah, you can do all that. But at the end of the day, it is what you make it. Your experience is going to be exactly what you make it. Whatever you put in is what you're going to get out. If you go into college thinking that, all right, I'm just about to, where the shorties, where the baddies at, bro? Yeah, it's going to be, you're probably going to have fun, but it might not be, what you're expecting in the end. But if you go in with balance, like I said before, work, school, life, whatever else, then you'll have a perfect experience, a great experience, more than likely. At the end of the day, you're going to build your future. So yeah, whatever you put in is what you get out. Boom. So there you have it. There's the video on 10 things that I wish I knew before I started university. If you found anything interesting in this video, if you found some tips and advice helpful, be sure to like the video, leave a comment, subscribe, all the good stuff. Give some advice in the comments as well. What's something that maybe you would have wished you learned before you went to university, something that you probably learned a bit late. And like always, appreciate you guys for watching. Until next time, peace.